Hey, happy Thursday. Okay, today I am so excited to come live with you on this micro coaching because we're going to start deep diving into training your brain to allow success. We're going to start really unpacking how I went from thinking like a five-figure entrepreneur to thinking like a six-figure entrepreneur to thinking like a seven-figure entrepreneur so that I could become one, and the process of training your brain to allow that success. Every seven-figure business owner that has trained their brain to allow success. Every seven-figure business owner that has given their brain the ability to no longer believe the limiting beliefs. And so that's what we're going to be unpacking today. I want to do a very cool strategy session with a few of you that are live with me. And I'm going to just ask for my team to let me know that we are good to go, that everything is playing as it should. And I'm going to start us off by just diving deep into a seven-figure thinking process. So I want to make sure it's working good. Everything looks good. Good. Okay. So one of the key components to growing your business online is not thinking like you used to. And so I thought it would be valuable for me to unpack some of the thoughts that seven-figure entrepreneurs have so that you can start to install them. Because as you install these thoughts and as you repeat these thoughts, and as that part of your brain becomes trained, let's say, to think in the way that a seven-figure entrepreneur does, it just allows you to get there so much faster. So if you're here with me live in the chat, please let me know you're here live. Please let me know you're here live. And I'm going to play around with seeing if I can bring somebody on. I'm with StreamYard. It's a little bit interesting. And I'm going to be, I don't know if you saw the title, but I'm going to be hot seating a couple of your seven-figure strategies. So if you're like, hot seat me, I need the strategy to get to seven figures, put hot seat in the chat, because I want to do that with you live here. I want you to see how simple it can actually be to get to seven figures in your business with the right strategy. And for those of you who are new to me, my name is Dr. Shannon Irvin. I help entrepreneurs up level to a seven-figure mindset by training your brain to allow the success and ditching the limiting beliefs that have been holding you back. Good to see you, Catherine. Good to see you, Heather. So I want to hot seat a couple of you, but before we get going on that seven-figure strategy hot seat, I want to just keep doing some micro coaching. I want to talk about installing seven-figure thinking habits. Installing seven-figure thinking habits. Because just like a habit of going to the gym gets you muscles, right? Just like the habit of going to the gym leads you to a better cardiovascular result. Hey, Ashley, good to see you. Training your brain to allow the success that you're after in your business is paramount to you getting there. And unfortunately, the lie that most people believe is that you just need better strategy. So you'll try one strategy and that strategy won't get you more clients and more sales. And so then you'll hop to a different strategy, either hire another coach or buy another course, and then you'll implement that strategy and it won't lead to more followers, more leads, and more sales. And it's just this ever ongoing merry-go-round of trying thing after thing after thing to get your business to go. And here's what I know. You're on this live with me or watching it on the replay because you really do want to see your business get to 6 or 7 figures. You really want to have that impact. You're driven. In fact, you're probably hella driven. You're probably the one that people tell to settle down a little bit. You probably already have a decent amount of clients, but it's just not what you had planned. Like you have the 6-figure business plan. If I am speaking to you, say amen in the chat. Like it's just not going fast enough. Like you have the vision for impact and for freedom in your life and in your business. That's why you became an entrepreneur, whether you're a coach, a course creator, an author, and you really want to see speed connect to your business. It's not that you're not doing strategy. So the 3 key components that every person that wants to grow a multi 7-figure business needs to have is, yes, you need a strategy, not 10 strategies, a strategy, right? If somebody is selling the strategy, chances are that strategy works. You don't need 10, you don't need to hop around, you just need one. You need the skill. So there's a skill base that you need to increase and grow in. And we'll talk about that over the next week, like what skills are important to invest in and what skills are not. And then you need to have the thinking. You need to have the mindset of a 7-figure entrepreneur to become one. And people really, the big mistake I hear a lot is when I'm at 7 figures, then I will think like a 7-figure entrepreneur. When I have $10,000 a month, then I will think like a 6-figure entrepreneur. And I'm going to tell you that thinking is the very thing that will keep you from getting to 6 and going on to 7. It's the idea that once I have insert result number, then I will be insert identity. And the formula is opposite of that. It is once I train the skill into my brain, just like going to the gym gives you muscles. Once I train my thinking to think like a 7-figure entrepreneur, then I will become one. So I'm going to ask you in the chat, for those of you who are here live, which seems to be the most effective route to get to 7 figures? Try strategy after strategy, tactic after tactic. Continue to try to use hustle, willpower, grit, grind, and time, and hope, pray, and wish that it works. Or stop what you're doing, train a 7-figure mindset into your brain, and then allow the results to come from the thinking that already is in alignment with 7 figures. So I'll say person A is the majority of entrepreneurs out there. And it's not your fault, by the way. We were trained that to be doers, right? The industrial age, that's what we learned in the educational system. So we are doers. So put doer. If you're like, I'm a doer, I get ish done. Like I do all day long. I am the hardest working person in the room. I will outwork you, right? If you're a doer, put I'm a doer, right? And by the way, being a doer actually does translate really, really well to a 7-figure mindset once you make that shift in priority. Once you make your shift to that priority, right? So person A is the one really just trying to find the right strategy to get more clients and more sales. Person B is the person that is saying, I need to think like someone who is already there so that I can get there. Which do you think will allow 7-figure results faster? Person A, strategy hunter, or person B, 7-figure thinker? Tell me in the chat. Well, I'm going to take a little drink here. Strategy hunter, that's person A, or the 7-figure thinker. Yeah, B is B. Now, a lot of you are live right now with me. I would love for you to be chatting with me in the chat because I am doing these live trainings because my burning passion, and I thank you, Heather, you are just like all in, is to get you to get the linchpin. Do you know what a linchpin is? Linchpin is this like one piece of a mechanical system that once you have that one piece, it makes it all work, right? And so I want you to train your brain to allow seven figure thinking, because when you allow seven figure thinking and learn what that is, this is not something you're going to just know. I did not know some of the attributes, the characteristics, and the thinking patterns that a seven figure entrepreneur had until I started developing my neurocoach model and started interviewing, talking to a lot of seven figure entrepreneurs. I really discovered that they thought differently about money, worth, time, energy, strategy, skill, all the things. And so we can't expect to be in a small dinghy in the middle of the ocean when it's an ocean liner. That is what is required to get all the way across the ocean. Make sense? But yet, time after time, we're sold this bill of goods that just if you just do another more strategy, one more, it's a webinar, it's your messaging, it's speaking from stage, it's this, and we run around logically. That's, by the way, you're a high thinker if you're like logically. I love that. Who is that said that? I don't have your name. It says 67 Day. That's our coaching program, has been my linchpin. Also the neurocoaching certification, our coaching certification. The change is a process, and I'm trusting that process. I don't know who it is, so tell me who you are, because it doesn't say your name. So doer, strategy after strategy. Yeah, person A, person B gets to seven figures. So, oh, Catherine. Okay, that helps me. Thanks, Catherine. All right, so here's what I want to unpack for you. I want to unpack for you one of the automations. And when I say automations, what I mean by that is one of the thinking patterns that a seven figure entrepreneur has. And it guides their decision making, right? It guides my decision making. It didn't guide my decision making when I was at five figures and I was the slippery, struggling, suffering entrepreneur, right? That was lacking sales and lacking clients and not knowing how to get to the next level. I, like you, did the strategy hunting. I, like you, did all the exact same things until I discovered how our brain allowed success, until I was desperate enough to go get a doctorate. And that's where I started putting together the two key linchpins. Number one, seven figure and eight figure entrepreneurs think differently. And you can know how to think differently. Just how you know, here's the greatest simile I want you to think about. You can look at somebody like an Arnold Schwarzenegger or somebody else that's more current, that's very ripped muscularly, right? And you can go and tell and say like, oh, I need to do cardio. I need to do this. I need to do that. I need to do this, right? Or you could walk up to Arnold and say, Arnold, how do you think about these things? And Arnold would tell you exactly what he's thinking in order to have the body he has. Then bingo, your body becomes his body because you follow the patterns of the person that has the results. But most struggling, suffering entrepreneurs are not doing that. They are buying the products of people that are telling them they need the strategy, but they are not investing in the ability to think like a seven figure entrepreneur. By the way, we are going to have a live event coming up in September 11th through the 14th, where I'm going to unpack, and I'm just going to ask you here live. I've got two core things that I want to teach you in that live event. Tell me in the chat. I'm going to do, tell me which sounds like you would want to be there more. To be there to learn what I'm talking about today, which is unpacking all the thinking patterns of a seven figure entrepreneur so that you can become one. And I'm also thinking about teaching how to create a year's worth of goals in 67 days. Now, I can teach both, but I'm curious which of those is a stronger need for you. So if you could tell me in the chat, that would mean a whole lot for me to know which is just more like you would clear your schedule and make sure you're there to unpack all the thinking patterns of a seven figure entrepreneur so that you can become one, or learning to accomplish a year's worth of goals in 67 days. And of course, I'm going to sneak both in, but tell me which one lands harder, stronger. I have to be there. I'll clear my calendar. to learn that, because I know I'm not doing that, right? I know I'm not doing that. Okay. Thank you for your response to that, because I want this event to be really powerful for you. And again, just mark your calendar, September 11th through the 14th. You can say both, Ashley, because you know me, I'm going to, teach our 67-day year model, but but the 7-figure unpacking is a stronger desire to learn those patterns. And these are brain-based patterns. These are the patterns that 7-figure entrepreneurs have on autopilot in their subconscious, in my subconscious, that is driving, literally driving. I talk about this a lot, whether like right now, the thinking that you have, if you haven't done this, if you've not trained your brain to allow 7-figure success, then it's like you have a Pinto, the Pinto cars, the really tiny ones. Your brain cannot see that there is a Ferrari in the driveway too. And you go in, and because the pattern isn't there to recognize what a Ferrari is, how much faster it can go, how much more simple it can be to get it to a place in luxury, all that kind of stuff. You walk in, and even though the keys to the Ferrari and the keys to the Pinto are on your Lillian says, I try to forget Pintos. They're there, like the keys are there, both sets, but because your brain doesn't have the pattern recognition, it grabs the keys to the Pinto and starts driving, even though they had full access to the Ferrari, if they actually just understood the recognition to be able to pick up the keys. So that's the key there. So before I hot seat someone, I want to talk about one 7-figure pattern that you can start implementing today. You can start practicing this thought pattern just like you would practice going to the gym and lifting a weight, right? It requires effort. This is why there aren't as many 7 and 8-figure entrepreneurs as they are broken, struggling entrepreneurs, because it requires doing uncomfortable things. So number one, 7-figure mindset pattern is that 7-figure entrepreneurs are comfortable doing hard things. They're comfortable doing hard things. And I want you to think about this. So I was just listening to Alex Hormozi. Some of you guys know who he is, right? And he was talking about his pattern. This is a 7-figure pattern, right? And so he was talking about how he would go and every single day would call 100 people, whether it was in his contact list or in his email list or on his socials. This is way before he had a multi-billion-dollar business. And he would pick up the phone and do 100 dials a day. He had a whole system. He's going to break it down in his new book that's coming out, which is cool. But I mean, that sounds amazing, right? Oh yeah, that sounds great. I should do that. But how many of you right now that want to grow a business are reaching out to 100 people a day? And here's the thing, Ashley, I love that you said that I want to be comfortable doing hard things. It's actually a different pattern. It's still hard for me. That's what I want you to hear, that this pattern, we have this broken belief that once we get to 7 figures, it's no longer hard or it's comfortable. And I want to tell you, as you go into 7 and then move toward 8, the comfort doesn't change. It's the familiarity that changes. So being familiar with doing hard things, meaning you're willing to do more hard things as a 7-figure entrepreneur than struggling, suffering, broke entrepreneurs are. And that is a habit that can be learned. So when I'm talking about doing hard things, I mean doing things that your brain sees as a threat. So going live, your brain sees as a threat. Calling people and offering your services, your brain sees that as a threat. So your brain's job is to send neurochemicals that make that feel very hard. Can I get an amen for that? Have you felt that resistance, that tension, that feeling of like, oh, I don't want to do this. This is too hard. And then you go work on your website, or you go work on the perfect words, or you go work on messaging, none of which really actually convert sales, right? So why am I saying this to you? Because I want you to start to train the pattern, and we'll break down these patterns in detail inside our challenge in September, where I'm helping you learn to think like a seven-figure entrepreneur. Learn to think like a seven-figure entrepreneur. So these patterns are very predictable patterns. They're very present patterns, meaning in all of myself and all of my seven-figure friends, my eight-figure friends, these patterns are very present and very predictable. Very present and very predictable. And so my desire for you is to say, what is the next hard thing that you know? Here's the great thing. You already know you need to do it. You're wicked smart. This is what I know about you. You're wicked smart. So here's the great news. When you come to the challenge, when you learn to access the thinking and train your brain like a seven-figure entrepreneur, you're going to unleash your business success. You're going to fast forward your results. That's why you can accomplish a year's worth of goals in 67 days. But you got to commit to the only linchpin that makes it all different is training the pattern, the muscle pattern, the memory in your subconscious as a seven-figure entrepreneur. So it literally draws it to you. So what is the next hard thing for you? Is it going live? Is it sitting down with 10 names and calling them up, DMing people? It's crazy, but I mean, I can literally break down for you how to get your next 10 clients. How to get your next 10 clients right now. So this will be a great example of what a seven-figure entrepreneur's brain is trained to do hard things versus someone who hasn't trained their brain to think like a seven-figure entrepreneur. So here's how you're going to get the next 10 clients. Is that something you're interested in hearing? Because I'd love to break it down for you. Because I'm going to break it down for you in the pattern of a seven-figure entrepreneur. And you can kind of dissect a little bit of the thinking pattern that I have. And this is exactly, by the way, what I did to get to seven figures. So if going live terrifies you, and I will, then that is the very thing that is your hard thing. So start with a minute. Hi, I don't know. Is it Catherine? Is that Catherine? Who is that said that? Yeah, your very next client. Exactly. So if going live terrifies you, and you know to get to seven-figure thinking, you've got to do hard things, then I'm going to go press live for a minute. And I'm going to say, hi, my name is Catherine. I'm an entrepreneur and I help people with X. If I can support you, great. And then you end the video. And then the next time you do 2 minutes. And then the next time you do 3 minutes, right? So you start to build the muscle of hard in your brain. The only thing, oh, thank you, Heather. The only thing that is holding you back from building your business to 6 and then on to 7 is that you have not trained the thinking patterns of a seven-figure entrepreneur. You haven't trained your brain to think like a seven-figure entrepreneur. So therefore you're thinking like a broke entrepreneur and you're repeating the patterns of a broke entrepreneur, staying in fear, staying in there and not doing it. It's like going into the gym and walking around the exterior of the gym. Think about that. It's like, I'm going into the gym. I want to look like that, but I'm just going to walk around the outside of the gym and I'm not going to pick up a weight. Well, I don't care how many times you buy courses. That's the equivalent. Walk around the gym. You change strategies. You redo your website. I don't care how many times you do that, because the patterns to get to seven figures means you actually have to pick up the weight. You actually have to do the hard things. You actually have to take the actions, the thinking to get the results of a 7-figure entrepreneur. All right. That's why I'm going to do the event in September, because I know it was the only thing that held me back. It was the only thing that was keeping the entrepreneur glass ceiling above my head. And if I can break that glass ceiling because I train my brain to think like a 7-figure entrepreneur, so can you. And that's exactly what we're going to break down. And I think we're calling it Fast Forward Your Business Challenge, where I'm going to teach you the thinking patterns of a 7-figure entrepreneur so you can become one. So I love it. I love you. Reaching for speakers for your summit was scary. I had to break down my tasks. Yeah. So you guys said that you would love to know how to get your next 10 clients. And then I'm going to do a hot seat. Okay. I want to do a hot seat. Who wants a hot seat? Put hot seat in the chat. Who wants me to kind of break down for them the 7-figure business strategy for you? If you do, put the word hot seat. I would love to see if StreamYard will let me pull you forward. I'm not sure if it will or not. All right. So and remember, we're still kind of landing on the 7-figure thinking pattern of I'm more willing to do hard things than your broke entrepreneur. Okay. You're struggling entrepreneur. So here are the steps. Are you ready? Here are the steps. Oh, and if you put hot seat, put your name after it so I know who's asking for the hot seat. So number 1, you got to have your list. Now, I can already feel the pushback. I don't have that big of a list, Shannon. I don't have that big of a following. Well, right now, if I asked you to pick up your phone and look at how many contacts you have in your phone, tell me that in the chat. How many, Brittany, I see you. Okay, good. How many contacts do you have in your phone right now? So let me break this down so it's really, really clear. A lead is just a contact. A warm lead is somebody who's interested, right? And then a hot lead is somebody who's interested and has the problems and wants the solution. And a hot lead becomes a client. Does that make sense? So you need leads in order to have warm leads, in order to have hot leads, in order to have clients. You cannot skip from one to the next. And I think, again, this is people wanting to not do the hard things. I just want people to come to me and buy from me. Well, first of all, you've got to talk to human beings. This is a human being business. And I think the more you land that, like, these are real people with real hearts, with real minds, right? It's okay. That doesn't matter that they're not your ideal clients, Heather. See, watch how your brain wants to argue with you already. Wait, I'm telling you, this is how I started my business to 7 figures. So, like, resist the urge to say, I know that it won't work. Watch how your brain does that. Isn't that interesting that your brain serves you, but they're not my ideal clients, right? I know they're not. So you probably do have an email list, whether it's 1 or 2 or 10. We dive deep in the certification on how to grow your email list. And then on social, you have some people that are following you that you could DM. So think about all of those total. Then you have a lot more leads than you thought you did, right? And so the hard thing, and this is going to be a stretch, is you're going to reach out to 100 of those a day. That's what I did. Now, could you reach out to 10 a day? Yes. Could you reach out to 1 a day? Yes. The difference is a 7-figure entrepreneur are willing to do the hard thing. We're willing to do more. We're willing to not fatigue. We're willing to do more. Is this starting to land? So let's just use the number 10. And here's what you're going to do. You're going to reach out to them. Now, all of a sudden, you just had all the nerves. See how your brain wants to serve, stay still, right? So we do hard things. So I'm showing you the pattern again. So I would reach out and I would do this. Hey, I would look at their profile or look at what's been going on for them. And I'd say, hey, it looks like you just got a new job, or hey, it looks like you just had a new baby, or hey, I saw that you saw this movie. See, look at Ashley, look at all those look at all that list. I love it. 100 a day builds skill. Brittany asked, what does it build? It builds skill. See, we can't expect a non-skilled person to have a lot of sales. And I think that's where people get off kilter, because we're taught, like, just turn on the funnel and it works and we have $100,000 coming into our bank account, but you don't have the skill yet, right? The skill to conversion, the skill to getting results for your clients. So I reach out. Looks like you saw that movie. I saw it too. How you been? I've been great. And now they're responding back to you, whether it be email, on a DM, in the phone, whichever way you want to do it. And I would ask them more. That must be amazing that you got to do that with your kids. It sounds like they're so lucky, right? And conversation goes back and forth. And then I ask this, hey, I have a coaching business that helps entrepreneurs build their businesses. Okay, here it comes. Do you know anyone that might be interested in growing their business and working with somebody like me? Now, see, I didn't ask them for it. They might be the ideal person. And if they are the ideal person, they'll say, yeah, I know a couple of people, but man, I'm interested too. What? Okay. But if not, they're saying, I've got a couple people. Hey, would you mind connecting me? You know, I've got a few open spots in my coaching calendar, and I'm really just reaching out to people that I really like, because I know I would like the people that they recommend so easily. So easy. Now you're just like, oh yeah, I know this and this. What if somebody says, no, I don't know anybody, Betty. I don't know anybody that I like. And then you can say, like, well, okay, do you know anybody that you hate that might be interested, right? You can kind of lighten it up, make a joke. But here's the thing. You take where you are now and quadruple, 10x, because they're going to be telling you perfect people to come and work with you. So these reps, just like in the gym, make you have better skill, but I know that it's hard to do it. And that's why you'll have some people get to 7 figures, because they're willing to do the 10 dials or the 100 dials. They're willing to feel uncomfortable. They've trained that part of their brain to say, I know it's scary. So it's not saying they don't feel it. And that's what I really want you to hear. 7-figure mindset does not mean I feel comfortable with doing that. It means I'm just willing to do it. Okay. So that's the first pattern. Now, I'd love to hot seat someone, and I think Brittany put her hand up for that. I'm trying to see if there is a way. Brittany, I don't think there is a way for me to do this. Let me see. No, I can show your thing. I'm trying to see if there's a way to, just being willing to do it. No, that didn't do it. What did that do? Trying to see if there's a way to bring you on we might have to do it just via chat. All right. So Brittany, tell me what it is that where you are now, what your business is, and what you're shooting for. What is it that you're trying to get to? Tell me that in the chat down below. I'm trying to see if there's a way to bring you on, but I'm not seeing a way to do it. I'm going to have to look that up so that I can do it in the future. But in the chat, Brittany, tell me where you are now. What is it that you're wanting, what your business is, and what is it that you're wanting to accomplish? So I'm a self-care coach for moms with children with autism. Okay. So she's a self-care coach with moms of autism. All right. So tell me how many clients you have right now. Yeah, I know, Lillian. I'm on a different software. Oh, wait. There is a way. Hang on. Ooh. All right. I'm going to pop this in the chat, Lillian. Brittany. Only Brittany. Give me your word, y'all. Only Brittany clicks this link. Okay. So Brittany, I just popped a link in there. I want you to click on it. and I want you to come on. Okay. We'll see how this goes. We'll see if I want to do this again like this. We'll see. So I'm going to hold out. So just hang out with me here for a second while she clicks on that link, and that should work. Yeah, that should work. Brittany, say okay if you're trying, because that way I know that you're trying. It's above. It's is it not showing it there? Where are you right now, Brittany? Are you in the Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group right now? Okay, hang on. Put user in timeout. That's funny. Okay, hang on. I can do this. I could do this. I would like for you to be able to do this. So where are you watching this live? Tell me. I need to know that so that I can go put it over there for you. Okay, perfect. Hang on. Hold the phone. Hold the phone. Okay. Hold on. So Brittany. See, that's the advantage of being in the Unleashed Entrepreneur Facebook group. All right. I don't like all this dead airspace, but we're hanging out, right? So I want to make sure that I have somebody with me live next time that can be doing this for me. All right. Where am I live? I'm live right there. Let me get in the comments. Hang on. There you are. Okay. All right, Brittany, I'm just popped it into the stream. Do you see it there? Should be able to see it there now. I do not know why comments aren't going into the area, but there we go. All right. Should be able to click on that link now. And we're still live. Somebody's like, replay. Actually, no, you're live with me. It's good. All right. So Brittany, I'm going to give you like a minute to click that link and get on. Otherwise, we're going to do it via text, because otherwise I've got a lot of dead air. So, and I don't want to do that. So let me know, Brittany, if you got the link. So what we're going to do now, while I'm waiting for her to come on, is I'm going to hot seat a 7-figure strategy for Brittany. So Brittany is a self-care coach for moms with kiddos with autism, which is if anybody has neurodiverse kid, it is a high level of burnout. And so Brittany, tell me if you're able to get the link. So I want to be able to bring you on. And it's right there in the comments now. Speak to me, Brittany. So what we want to do is we want to map out for her some of the thinking and a simple strategy for her to get to 7 figures, because I had to type it. Okay. I'm like, okay. You couldn't copy and paste it. You should be able to come in. Are you coming? Oh, bummer. 1 second, she says. All right. So here's the thing. Anyone can create a strategy for you to get to 7 figures. And I am going to be teaching you a strategy because she's a coach, right? So coaches are my jam. We certify coaches. We have the very best coaching certification on the planet because it teaches you the right way to coach from a brain-based perspective so that you get permanent results. Brittany is in the room. All right, now I got to add you to the stream. We did it. We did it. Now I hope I can hear you. You're going to have to unmute your mic there.
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. Look at us doing this. Look at us getting all fancy. Okay, so next time around, now that I know that it works that way, I'll have my team with the link so that you will be able to do this a little bit more seamlessly next time. All right. So I was telling everybody while you were doing that, you're a self-care coach for autistic moms. So let's talk about where you are right now. And I think I saw it in the chat, like don't have clients yet. Is that right?
Yeah, that's correct. So right now I'm working on my second summit to build my audience. my first summit, I was like riddled with anxiety, and then that's when I joined 67 Day Year, and now I have some more momentum, and
Yeah.
I started doing my outreach again. Yesterday, like I said, I reached out to 3 people, but now I feel like I can reach out to more. But before, I was terrified to even reach out to one. So
Yeah. So
that's
so
where I am
let's
right now.
let's start there because I want to map out a seven-figure strategy for you. But I also want to, when I see what I call thinking landmines, when I see a landmine that I know is not going to be present for you at seven figures, then we need to call it out. By the way, being terrified, being afraid, that is your brain doing its natural job. So there's nothing wrong with you. There's nothing broken with you, but because you get into fear, but it's like, what do we do with that pattern? Because that pattern, and you've already through joining the 67-day year, you've already started to gain momentum, started understanding why do I have that pattern, all that kind of stuff. So how do we take that terrified pattern and say, okay, I am terrified and I'm doing 10 reach outs today, right? Instead of a but, because usually the fear and those things for most struggling entrepreneurs create a but. So I won't do it, right? Or so I'll do less, or so I'll choose people that I feel like are less threatening. Is another way your brain might serve that to you. Or I'll go and find somebody to be on my summit that has 10 followers. They'll come, right? Instead of saying, no, like I am going to go and I'm going to reach out to some high level people that believe in what I believe in, right? So I love that you're doing summits, and tell me what you believe the goal is on the summits.
The goal is to get 500 people to join my email list,
Okay.
and then I would start sales.
Okay. Tell me more about starting sales.
Um, for sales, um, I would have to be reaching out to people. I would have to have like a master class, and I would have to reach out to people. I don't know the specifics because I'm in Christina's program, and
Mm,
it's only unlocked one step at a time. So if I'm an audience build, I wouldn't know the specifics of sales.
yeah. Okay. Well, if it's all right with you, I'm gonna blow all that up. I love my best friend, but I'm gonna kind of shortcut some stuff for you, okay? Because
Okay.
I think, and I 100% agree and believe with her the strategy she teaches. So keep following it, and I want you to have clients because the ultimate goal is what? How many clients? Not like the
10,
big, like giant goal, but what's like the, oh my gosh, it's working goal.
okay, 10 one-to-one high ticket clients.
Oh, there we go. 10 1-to-1. I love that that is your first goal. That was absolutely my first goal, by the way. And I love that number because 10 can be multiples. I get 10, now it's 20, now 20, now it's 40, now it's 40, now it's 80, right? It's simple to, your brain naturally does the growth trajectory without getting into panic and fear. And oh no, I can't handle 20, right? And the great news is when and you're in certification. Are you in certification?
Not yet, no.
Not yet. Is it on your vision board?
It is.
Oh, love it. So when you get into certification, we're gonna teach you how to, like, how do we transition from one-to-one to one-to-many, and when is that, and what do I charge, and all those things. So you don't need to figure all that out on your own. That's one of the attributes and thinking patterns of a seven-figure entrepreneur is we do not reinvent the wheel. We're like, you've been there. Tell me how you did it. I will do that. Now, we are gonna break down one of the misnomers of there's always a better way, right? So I'm going to teach you a way to gain clients today. Is that all right? Because the goal
Yes.
the goal is 10. So I want you to start. Now, remember I was breaking down like what I started and how I would make calls. I need you guys to hear this. I want you having massively high ticket paying clients. That's what I want. But Brittany, would you confess that you're brand new at this?
Yes, I'm
Yeah.
very new. Very
Yeah.
new at it.
Yes. Thank you for being real. How many, put new in the chat? How many of you are new? You're newer. You don't have the sea legs. You haven't been in the business for 20 years or 30 years. You're newer. And so I'm going to tell you, one of the fastest ways to grow your business is by actually delivering your result. So I started out with 5 people and I said, I am going to do this for you for free. And I'm going to get somebody that's going to push back against me. Say, oh no, free. They're not going to pay attention. Everybody tells me free is fraud, blah, blah, blah. We don't have the skill and the sea legs yet to be massively confident about our results. We know we've got something to offer, but because we don't have 30, 40, 50, 60, 70 clients with all those testimonials, we don't have any testimonials yet, but I want you to get those testimonials. So let's say it's 3 people. And remember I talked about reaching out to your contacts. Do you know any moms of autistic kids that really are just blowing up themselves and they need some support around how to care for themselves? Do you know anybody like that? Like,
yeah, I know a lot.
so
There's some in my Facebook group and some on my Instagram.
Beautiful. So I want you to DM, don't do a big public because you don't want to do 100 of them, but do 1 or 2 or 3 and just say, listen, my program works. And in order for me to get it to work with different moms, not just, the same mom, but different moms, I've reached out to you. I want to offer it to you for free, price wise, but I need you to show up to everything. I need you to do all the work, and I need you to give me a raving, glowing testimonial when it's done. Would you like to do that? Okay. And I know Brittany just froze, so hopefully the internet will be nice to her. So why am I telling her to do this? Exactly, Ashley. This is not a forever thing. This is a get your sea legs under you. Get your sea legs under you. And because it's done in private, DM or an email, this is not I'm putting it out there and running a whole launch or summit for free clients. Oh, we lost her. Oh, she came back.
Am I back? Am I still frozen?
You're back. Yeah.
Okay.
You're back. Okay. So you can think about that and pray about that. But I am telling you, I started that way. I had 10 beta clients. They did it for free. They filled out a survey every single week. And I got 10 raving, glowing testimonials because what I do works and what you do will work. And now I go and charge for it. And then I double my prices. And then I double my prices. And then you get the idea. So I think you can have 3 clients because it's not that they're actually free. If they're giving you feedback, what's landing, what's not landing, if they're giving you testimonials, that is such a powerful thing. And I know one of my friends that's going to push back against it and say that's not the best way. But let me ask you this, Brittany, how much more confident could you sell if you had 3 testimonials sitting in your back pocket?
A lot more confidently. But can I say, I thought it was going to be something big and scary that you were going to tell me to do, but I would actually be really excited to reach out to people and do that.
Yeah.
So would it be 3 or 10?
Your call.
How many would I be starting
Your
with?
call. Whatever you could do with excellence and with all your heart, right? Because you're going to want to treat those 3 like they are gold, right? Because they are. They are. They're going to be giving you weekly feedback, what's working, what's not working. And then they're going to be giving you that raving, glowing testimonial. And Brittany, get this. Remember what I said? Hey, do you know any other? Is it true that neurodiverse moms hang out with each other?
Yeah, we have to.
We have to. Yes. By the way, my son's high functioning autism, so I know the world very well. Yeah, it's amazing. So 15 years old, incredible kid, straight A student, but he's high functioning autism and he embraces it. But I know what comes with that. So we know we hang out with each other because we just have a differently thinking person in our household that, we We like having that community. So here's how it's going to go after your 3. You ready for this? This is a crazy. You don't need a
I'm
webinar.
ready. I'm ready. I'm ready.
You don't need a webinar. You don't need even a sales funnel. You just need a way to take payment. You're gonna say to your 3 moms or your 10 moms, okay, thank you for the testimonial. Do you know anyone that is a mom like you that really could use this program? And I'm going to offer it to your references, whoever you refer, for how. So why am I doing that? Shannon, I'm the queen of don't discount yourself, but I'm also the queen of build your skill. Build your skill. And in the certification, we teach you the skill to coach, but there's nothing more powerful than having results for clients. And guess what? You're not going to have to sell them. They're going to pick up the phone and say, I just went through this coaching program with Brittany. I am feeling incredible. And we're going to hear the whole testimonial. And are you interested in having that in your life? And she's going to say, yes, please. And you're going to get on a call and you're going to now say, look, we're going to offer this. I'm only going to take 10 clients. And what are you considering high ticket, by the way, ultimately?
High ticket for me right now is $5,000 a month, but I was thinking per client. Is that what?
So you're thinking you were going to charge $5,000 a month per client?
Well, not out the gate. Out the gate, like in the beginning, $1,000 a month.
Okay, and then you're going to move up. I love it.
Yes,
I love it. So now you have gone from your 3 free. If you go with 3, they've all recommended. So say you do it for 4 weeks or 6 weeks, your call. Of course, in 67, we'll work with you on that if you need some support around, like, help me craft this. But now you're going to get 3 to 5 recommendations, because we will have at least that many to refer you to. And now you've gone from 3 free, monetarily free, to $5, $10, $15,000 a month within 2 months.
So you're saying 3 recommendations to $15,000 a month?
No. What I said was, you have your 3 people, right? They each refer 5 people to you. That's going to be, that's barely anything. Right? So they have 5. Person number 2 has 5. Person number 3. That means there's 15 referrals. And you said you're going to start out at $1,000 a month. So now you have 15 clients that they've recommended that are warm, that they already have recommended, and you convert them. Does that make sense? So now you've gone from 3.
Yeah, that makes sense. That makes sense.
So it's super. So I can tell you, this is exactly how I built myself to 6 figures and then on to 7. Asking for, first of all, getting results. And that's why the certification is a big, important move for you down the road. But getting those results allows you to have the testimonials, to be able to have the ask, hey, do you know any other moms of autistic kids that could really use what you've just been through?
Yes. And I just realized I've been building those relationships, but I just didn't know what the next step was. Yeah. And I thought I had to do like a lot of steps in order to get to the next step.
Yeah.
So
I know. And that's the thing. Everybody makes it really, really complicated. Now, here's the great news. The things you're doing with Christina, they will build volume for you. And that is fine. So I would say definitely do it. It's building your authority in the marketplace. It's doing good things for you. And today you could have the 3.
I'm doing it today, Dr. Shannon. I'm doing it today.
And think about that. Like, this is how fast it could go. But see, she's got to do hard things though. And she's got to continue, Brittany's got to continue to tell her brain, I know this is scary picking up the phone, but I'm going to do it anyway. I know this is scary talking to this referral, but I'm going to do it anyway. And so she's going to have to train. It's going to be, anybody know the first time you go do a squat in a gym, it ain't comfy. It ain't comfy. There's nothing comfy about putting a bar on your back and squatting, but it produces some pretty nice looking legs. That's what I got to say. So within 30 days, you could complete a decent coaching where you're getting a testimonial. Within 45 days, you could have those 15 clients at $1,000 a month. And then that's the last time you do $1,000 a month. Right?
Yes. This is exciting because when we did a call this week, and I was saying that I was frustrated because I like interacting with people, but I don't like the outreach to speakers and stuff because it makes me nervous. And I broke through that barrier yesterday. But I was saying all I want to do is to be able to speak to moms, and this is the way that I'll get to speak to autism moms. So I'm very excited about this, and I'm actually not even scared about it, which is growth, Dr. Shannon. I would have been very scared about this.
I love it. I love it so much. And I what a community. And I'm just going to encourage you. There's so much when we get you insert, and certainly in 67 days, we will deep dive into like the key components to talking to larger groups of people. But here's the great news. You already have all the marketing knowledge you need. We just have to help you funnel it. And here's what I want you to know, especially where are my coaches at? Because Brittany's a coach. Where are my coaches at? This is true for course creators. This is true for authors. Y'all, we are helping humans. HUMANS, real people. So like, stop putting real people into like a non-human funnel. These are people. Pick up the phone, DM, reach out, help them. And then things change for them. And then guess what? When things change for them, they can't help but sell your product for you. Make sense? Then you got an army of people saying, Brittany's the best.
Yes, that makes sense.
Work with her. She's incredible. And you're like, they're coming to you. That's our ultimate goal, right? They're coming to you. Well, how you get that to happen is by delivering amazing results and getting those testimonials. And then the simple $1 million question, do you know anyone else this could help? Boom. That's the 7-figure strategy for Brittany. Love you, girl. Love you in the community. I'm so glad you're here. I'm going to pull her out. All right. We only had time for one hot seat. Let me take a quick look. When is my next time I'm going to be back with you live? Hold on. Let me see. All right. I'm back with you live on Monday. 12 p.m. is the time I go live. So always be looking at about that time. So we'll be live 12 p.m. on a Monday. Is that the 21st already? Oh my gosh. On Monday the 21st. And we're going to be deep diving a little bit more into thinking patterns of a 7-figure entrepreneur so that you can install them so that you can become one. All right, Brittany, I can't wait to hear how it goes for you. I appreciate you all, and I will see you when I'm back again for micro coaching. Bye for now.